people who know a lot about God, but they don't personally know God. And I just want y'all to keep that in mind while we're going through this tonight. For our first, actually no, I'm not going to do that. First, I just want to kind of tell you about myself if you don't know me. The first word, I literally wrote these down about myself with like the first 4 that came off the top of my head. I'm obnoxious and I'm loud. Okay? Those go hand in hand. I'm very straightforward. If you're not doing something right and I know it, I'm not going to beat around the bush and I'm going to tell you straightforward to your face.
Preach. Come on, Pastor. Preach, get it.
The last one I put was, I like to think of myself as funny. So I have a very bizarre sense of humor, and the only person who really laughs at my jokes is my mom.
Let's hear one.
Not because she has to, she really thinks they're funny, but we have very dry sense of humor.
Let's hear one.
What?
Let's hear one.
Okay. You want to hear a joke? Yeah. What is an astronaut's favorite meal?
Milky Way.
Lunch. Okay, but for real.
That wasn't half bad. It was all bad.
Okay, so I'm pretty much going to tell you my story, which in my case is not really a story. It's a testimony. And if you've ever heard one of those before, it's usually very bizarre and
sad.
So get ready. So I've always been, like I said, obnoxious, loud, straightforward, and I like to think of myself as funny. And I would like to think, I also was very confident in myself until, which is weird, it started in the 6th grade, which you're 11 or 12 in the 6th grade, right? And that's pretty young, but I was a nerd. I was in GT, and nobody liked me.
What's that?
Gifted and talented program. It's on the borderline of being either special needs or extremely smart, and we still haven't figured it out. Okay, so I was in a homeroom with a few girls who made my life miserable. They called me conceited. There's obviously a fine line between being conceited and confident, and I did not know that at the time. So they pretty much threw my self-esteem in the floor. I did not think highly of myself from then on. In the 7th grade, moving on, that whole summer I was miserable. I felt like I had no friends anymore. So I go into the 7th grade thinking everything would be good because we were in a different school. But I was wrong. I was wrong. I had maybe 2 friends, it felt like. I felt ostracized, and if you don't know what that means, it's secluded. It's just kind of pushed off in the corner, which is weird because on the outside, I felt, I looked great, I felt fine, but on the inside, I was literally dying. I felt like a piece of crap, pretty much. I became someone I wasn't to fit in, and I had a foul mouth, very foul mouth, and to be honest, I struggle with that today, still, and it's like, I know it's a really weird thing to think of it, but it's like drugs or alcohol, or if you're on it and you're on it for so long and you just use it you just have to use it because it makes you feel powerful, and it's like an addicted thing. So I had the foulest mouth ever. If I didn't like somebody at the lunch table, they would hear it because it was bad. F you, F that, F this, F that. What's that? And if you still think that cussing and using words, it slips sometimes and you can't help it, but it's really not that great. And I know it makes you feel powerful, and it just makes you feel like you conquered the world when you cuss somebody out, I guess, or just give them a bad name or talk behind their backs or something, but it's not okay, and it's not what the Bible says. It says that we should love everyone. I may have looked and seemed to have fit in with everyone and to feel great about myself, but I was done with the world. It was literally the beginning of depression in me. I've had anxiety problems since the time I was a baby. They thought I had asthma, put me on inhalers, and in the 4th grade they found out it was anxiety, but my parents didn't tell me because they didn't want to freak me out, and knowing me it would have freaked me out. But now it's gotten a little bit better, but then it was awful. I would have panic attacks on a regular basis. It's where you can't breathe. It feels like you can't breathe. It feels like literally the walls are like crashing in on you, and you just start shaking sometimes. And the only way to pretty much cure it, besides at the time I didn't know, talking to God, was just go to sleep. And even then it wouldn't help. So, and I'm not proud of it, but I did have very, very suicidal thoughts. I just wanted to end it because I thought nothing would get better. I just thought that my life was a total wreck. Nobody loved me. Even though I had an amazing family who loved me, I just couldn't see that. And I don't know why. Satan just comes at you and he makes you feel like you're the most lonely person in the world, and it happens. And the reason why it did happen is because I allowed it to happen. I wanted to just end my life. I just wanted to run away. I wanted to get away. I hated Hazel. I hated everyone in Hazel. I didn't want to be here anymore. I thought I was unwanted. I thought nobody wanted to talk to me anymore, or to, I didn't think anyone liked me. I have loved school since I was, since I started school, and in the 6th and 7th grade, I would pretend I was sick so I didn't have to go to school, so I didn't have to talk to the girls who would bully me on usually a daily basis. Boys and girls would bully me, and I didn't want to deal with it anymore, so I would pretend I was sick so I didn't have to go to school, and I hated it. I hated school, and the only thing that got me through was sports, which is pretty bad, but sports did get me through it. I became someone I wasn't, and someone who I never wanted to be, and I became a person that even myself hated because I wanted to fit in. And I don't like using the word hate or love because they are such powerful, they mean so much, and I hated myself. And that's just that. I didn't like anyone else, and I hated myself the most. Eventually the school year ended, and I thought it would get better, and it kind of did, but I still wasn't great with God. Like I've said before, I was someone who knew everything about God, but didn't know God on a personal level. And if you don't, I could quote scriptures upon scriptures upon scriptures about God, and I knew every little tedious verse in the Bible or little detail about Noah's Ark, or Jesus walking on water, but I couldn't tell you one thing. I couldn't tell you about my relationship